How you doing, guys? My name's Artie. Welcome to the program. A couple of us know each other from the first Veralex commercial that we did, and I see we have some new faces here as well. And we're here, obviously, today to talk about the hair restoration procedure that you all had done, the Veralex. So welcome to Veralex 2. Why don't we get everybody's names starting right here?
Hi, my name's Ken.
Jeff.
How are you, Artie? I'm Adam.
Hi, Artie. My name's Mike.
My name's Dave.
My name's Glenn.
Great. Well, welcome to the program. We're going to have some fun today and talk about Veralex. Each of you guys was losing your hair, correct? And you decided to have the Veralex treatment. What is this Veralex? Anybody want to jump right in with that one?
Veralex is real human hair. It's an infusion into your scalp. And it's a natural illusion of real growing hair.
So it's not a drug, it's not a surgery or anything like that?
Not at all. No, it's just they're adding more hair to your own hair to fill it up, make it thicker.
Your hair looks great, and we're going to get more into that in a couple of minutes. But I want to know, before you decided to try the Veralex, did you try Rogaine or Propecia or anything like that?
I tried the Rogaine.
Yeah.
After about 9 months, very little, if anything.
And you had to keep using it day after day after day?
Every single day.
And for the most part, it's messy.
Well, what's it involve?
Well, you apply it to the scalp, and of course it leaves behind a residue.
Oh, so
you most certainly feel that.
You just don't even want to go there with it, huh? How about those things you see on television? The hair clubs that people join?
Funny you should ask. I've had a past experience with that myself.
I got to hear this.
10, 12 years ago, I had what's commonly referred to as a hair system. And, you know, you basically feel like you're wearing a hat. You look like you're wearing a hat. And from day one, I was not happy with it. From the minute I left, I had it for about 1.5 years, couldn't wait to get rid of it.
So you actually felt like you were wearing a hat? Or
oh, yeah. Felt like I was wearing a hat, and I looked like it, too.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the difference with the Veralex?
The Veralex is, well, it's innovative, and, you know, it is actually human hair infused to your scalp. You don't have anything between yourself and the hair like I had before.
Yeah, I mean, I can see your scalps here. I mean, even from a little bit of a distance, too. So that's really the major difference between the Veralex and the hair replacement systems?
Well, it's obviously a far more natural look. In fact, after my previous experience, I became an expert on being able to pick them out of a crowd.
So we know by Glenn's story what the other hair replacement systems, all the hassle that involved. But what is Veralex? Tell me what that is.
Veralex is hair that's directly infused into the scalp with an appearance of an illusion of real growing natural full head of hair.
Well, what is it? Horse hair, cat hair? What I mean,
it's 100% human hair.
Human hair directly fused to your scalp.
Right.
I mean, I can see your scalps. I mean,
right.
When you
there's
tilt your
nothing
head
between
down.
us and the hair.
And that's basically the main difference between Veralex and other hair replacement systems.
Absolutely.
So you just feel more comfortable. You feel more natural.
It is natural.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is natural.
It's not like what Glenn said about, like, I mean, would you say you're wearing a hat or a wig or something?
It feels like there's nothing there at all. It's just you and the hair.
There's nothing separating it.
And it's completely to the touch. I mean, let's talk about with the ladies now. Yeah, you know, you guys, some of you are married, you're meeting women, whatever. When they actually touch your hair, is there any way, I mean, if they know you only post Veralex and they don't know you've had any kind of hair replacement, what's their reaction?
They could run their fingers through your hair and not be able to feel anything.
Exactly.
There is no reaction. I think that's the key point.
That might be the best answer I've heard all day. I mean, if they can't tell the difference,
there's no reaction.
why should you tell them, right? So it's really just completely different from any other method out there. I mean, have you guys had any experiences with other methods as well, or do you basically feel the same way Glenn does, that there's nothing else like it on the market?
Definitely. You could have as much hair or as little hair as you want, and it's just in any type of hair replacement like this one. Anything else, you have to have too much hair. It doesn't look as natural. This will give you a more natural look, like you said, where you could see into the scalp.
So you don't feel like you're wearing something like Glenn felt like when he had the other systems?
No, not at all.
And
it's part of you.
Now, like I said before, I mean, I can actually see your scalp. It's not like there's some sort of, I mean, we had talked about other methods like toupees and things like that. It's not anything similar to that at all, correct?
You design it, you style it, you wear it however you want it.
And basically, you feel that Veralex is a part of yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like having your own hair back.
And it's non-detectable. You can't detect it.
What about when you're, I don't know, do you drive a convertible or something like that?
I've driven a convertible, had a Jeep. But you can actually ride a motorcycle. I think one of the guys on the panel here has a motorcycle.
A couple of us do.
Right. And you can pull the helmet off. You don't look like you have hat hair.
So now that you've all had the procedure, what's different? I mean, other than the fact that obviously you have hair.
You look better and you feel better about yourself.
Absolutely.
Feel 10 years younger.
I don't think
10 years.
I don't think anyone can describe the feeling of
It's a lift.
yeah, exactly.
Big pump. It pumps you right up.
Yeah,
It gives you your
exactly.
self-esteem back, your confidence back. It brings those levels so high. You feel so good about yourself.
Now, after you saw people for the very first time, after you had Veralex, what was the initial reaction from everybody? Did they know you had something done?
Well, basically, I was using minoxidil and then went right to the system. And people were like, wow, that stuff really works. They thought I was actually growing hair.
Oh, wow, because they all thought that you were using a drug treatment.
Exactly.
And then
They have no clue.
they had no idea.
Well, I had noticed also when I would meet people I hadn't seen for a while that they are, in fact, looking at my hair. However, it's not the same as what I had in the past where they're looking at something that's an obvious defect.
Right.
They're trying to find out what's different. They're looking very close, and most of the time,
Oh, yeah.
they just have to come out, what is different about you? You know, and that's after them checking me out for 10, 15 minutes.
Well, now we mentioned before people who knew you before you had Veralex. And what about people who didn't know you before Veralex, who just see you now? What kind of compliments and comments do you get about
They
your
wouldn't
hair?
know anything.
Always get compliments on my hair.
People that I've met now have hair loss. They look at me and say, oh, you don't have to worry about hair loss. You have a full head of hair. And I'm not going to disclose it.
Let's talk about, since we're talking about what other people think, one of the most important things, I think, to all guys generally are women. I mean, what do the women think? You know, some of you are married, some of you might be dating. What do you get
They
from
love
them?
it. They love it. They can't notice anything different from anybody else.
And when they touch your hair, they
Feels
they know
natural.
that there's
It
no
feels
anything.
natural.
I've never had a girl notice that it wasn't real.
No.
So what do you think women's impressions of you were when you were losing your hair? Before the Veralex, as you were going bald, what did you think they thought of you?
I don't think the hair loss was as important to them as it was to me. If I walked into a room and there was 8 or 10 women looking my way, you know, they could have been attracted to me. Myself, my perception was they were looking directly at my head.
8 or 10 women looking at him at once, guys. Where,
He's lucky.
yeah, all right. You think that guys care about it, their hair loss more. So the difference is more with you guys. You don't think that women are that superficial to think, you know.
So we critique ourselves far more than they can critique us.
So now basically you think that, you know, maybe if they didn't think you were a geek or a loser or anything like that, you know, that they thought that you were just a regular cool guy. Is that, you think that most women are not superficial like that?
I don't believe that women are superficial, absolutely not.
You pretty much know what women are thinking, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You think you got your finger on the pulse of what women are all about?
No, this issue.
And this issue, that's what I meant.
Can these guys possibly know what women are thinking? Find out when we ask these women what's on their minds. We'll be back in just a few moments. Veralex is different from the hair replacement methods you see on TV, because with Veralex, there's nothing to see or feel between your scalp and your new hair. It's 100% human hair, directly infused to the scalp for the most natural look imaginable. Veralex isn't hair replacement, it's hair restoration, and this revolutionary new alternative just might be what you've been waiting for. So don't wait any longer. Call right now, without obligation, for this free brochure. Within its pages, you'll see photos of actual Veralex clients and learn how Veralex can work for you. Call now. Operators are standing by, ready to send you your Veralex brochure.
Well, hello, ladies. I am Artie. And you're probably wondering what you're doing here today, right?
Yes, we are.
Well, we're here to talk about guys. Now, you talk about guys amongst yourselves and your girlfriends, right?
All the time.
No, no. Come on, you don't chat it up about guys, do you? But there you go. Where do we begin? But more specifically, we're going to talk about guys grooming and their hair. What's the worst thing that a guy, other than, I mean, the hair with the ponytail that's hanging on for no apparent reason?
Yeah.
What else?
Comb
What else?
over.
Yeah, the comb
That's
over.
bad.
The one
That
that'll
is so unsexy.
Let's talk for a second about bald guys. And I'm not talking about guys that, you know, shave their heads to be bald and have that look, because that's a certain look. Is that attractive to you?
Yeah, it can be. Like Montel wears it beautifully.
Okay, but now that's a
But it
guy that
depends
shaves
on
his
the
head.
guy.
What about somebody who is going bald, who maybe still has some hair, maybe that has patches of baldness. I mean, how does that make you feel about a person? Now,
Older for sure.
Makes them look older.
It doesn't look very attractive.
What if there were two guys that maybe were the same age, okay, and were relatively the same? One guy was bald and one guy was not. Let's say you're out at a nightclub or something like that, having a party, and you see two guys, and you would say, "Oh, that guy maybe is 10 years younger than this guy." Does that happen? Do you find that?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. And every single time, I'd go for the guy with the hair.
Because he makes you feel young. Like, if he looks young, then you feel young. If he looks old...
So you're saying that the guy, if he has hair, makes you feel young in turn?
Yeah, I mean, because you're associated with them, you're spending time with them.
So you wouldn't feel younger if you were with a gentleman that was balding? I mean...
Well, it adds years onto their life, so it adds years onto your life. It's a psychological thing.
Well, what about a guy that has lost his hair, that does have the confidence, and you still see a guy that has hair? I mean, initially, visually, and we can be shallow here, ladies, are you more attracted to the guy with the hair than you would be to the guy that's maybe confident and looks like he's got his act together?
No, I'd go with the guy with the hair. The worst is when you see a balding man with hair implants that look like seed plantings and that are sprouting out. It's horrible.
No, kind of like a crop circle on his head or something.
Right.
Okay, I dated a guy that had that done. And he gets very excited because his hair's growing. He's like, honey, feel this. And I'm going, okay, honey.
What if you were going out with a guy, and let's say you got past the whole thing and you didn't know, or maybe he had a toupee. Have you ever gone out with a guy that has a toupee?
No, but I almost did, and then I found out that he had a toupee. There was this guy at the gym.
And you canceled the whole deal because he had a toupee?
I just, did maybe I'm not so interested body language again, because I was really like, God, that guy's hot. He had this best body at the gym, and I was really kind of, flirting with him and stuff, and then someone said, that's a toupee, and I was like, oh no.
What about younger guys that are going bald early? I mean, how does that affect their appearance? Would you be attracted to a guy like that? And I mean, obviously, let's not go for this whole thing of, well, once I got to know him and he's a nice guy. I mean, initially, ladies, let's be honest.
Initially.
Next, right?
You know what? I dated a guy in college that was going pretty bald. I mean, he was losing a lot of his hair for a college guy, and he did look older. I mean, he didn't look like the rest of the student body.
Was he losing his hair as he met you, or did you know that? Did you cause his hair loss? No.
All right, I made him pull out his hair. I'm done with that in therapy.
But now, I mean, outside of college and it's social, I mean, it's easier to meet people in college in that setting. If you were just out at work, or if you were out at a nightclub or something like that, and you saw a guy and he was younger, and maybe he was a decent looking guy, but he was bald, I mean, how did that, you wouldn't approach somebody, or how would you feel if they approached you and they were bald? Would you be attracted? I mean, let's get nitty gritty here. I mean, seriously.
He would have a great personality.
Yeah.
It's not in my nature to just be cruel. But if the guy comes up to me and he's balding and he is not put together and he's a jerk. I mean, you just go, what? Excuse me. I almost cursed, but what makes you think you have any right to talk to me? Right. Really, that's how I feel.
Thank you for being honest. I mean, I think that's...
It's not in her nature to be cruel.
No.
I love the way that she prefaced that whole statement right there.
As my girlfriend said, he should get paid to even speak to you, to even stand next to you.
Right.
Now, you said, what makes you think that this guy has the right to talk to you? How many times does that happen? How many times have you actually rejected a guy because of his hairline or his hair loss,
Oh, it definitely happens. It'll happen. I mean, just like if they had a big nose, or if they were, had floppy ears. It's the kind of thing where, I think I would be very graceful, or I'd like to just be nice to him, but
you would be tactful and polite, but you would wait for the next guy to come along that had a full head of hair.
Admit it. We say with our body language all the time, don't you come up to me.
Right. I'm not interested.
You just back down right now. It ain't happening here. So they don't even come up. We don't have to say go away because it's already on your face and in your body.
And then you're forced to be mean. Don't you just hate that?
It's true.
And it doesn't have to be mean. I mean, I think you're talking like if you're scanning a room, where is my eye going to stop? Not on the bald guy.
Not on the bald guy.
At least the guys who have hair or the appearance of hair or are not bald, let's say that, have the potential to be cool or be attractive to you guys.
More than the bald.
More so,
yes.
All the potential.
Yes.
have the potential.
They'll have the first shot.
I think bald men look fatter. I do.
Really?
I really do.
Wow. You're right. Their
Quiet over
faces
here.
are
What do you
fuller.
think about that?
Even if a guy is skinny and he's bald, that's horrible too.
Why? Because you think he
If
looks
he's
like
skinny,
sick or something? Or-
Scrawny, he would just look scrawny. Or
Barney Fife.
yeah.
We're not saying that anybody's a bad person deep down. We're saying that initial impression is that it's the guy with the hair that's going to get your attention.
Yes,
It's true.
Absolutely.
it's true.
What we're going to do is we're going to have a little rate from 1 to 5, okay? And it's going to be the pathetic scale, okay? The pathetic loser scale, okay?
5 is pathetic.
Right, now, right, that's the most
pains me to
pathetic
do
that you
such
can get.
things.
Just now, listen, we're not talking about being nice and this person might be a nice person or a bad person or a good person, whatever. We're talking about purely visual, and I want you to just blurt it out, 1 to 5, and then we'll pick up on the comments after we give the number.
5 is most pathetic?
Most pathetic,
Okay.
kind of, oh, this guy, he's got nothing going for him kind of thing. Let's start with this guy right here. How pathetic from 1 to 5 is this guy right here?
1. It's not that bad. Well, he's not. He's not.
You think he's a 5?
I think he's a 3.
I give him a 2.
I give him a 1.
2.
A 1, so
I'd
he's
give him
mildly
3.
pathetic.
Mildly, yes.
Just mildly.
And you think that he's very pathetic looking,
do.
solely based on his appearance.
Look at the shine.
Now let's go to this poor, pathetic guy right here.
5.
Oh,
5.
try not to laugh.
5.
A 6. You already went above the scale on the first one.
He makes Barney Fife look good.
Oh, look at that. A 5,
Barney is really cute.
a 4. You're withholding 1 for. You think there's somebody? You think that I have somebody more pathetic than you? That you just lost it, cracking up. Why? Why?
My man.
What is it about this guy?
Pathetic.
We just finished talking about
Look at
him
he
being
got
like
the
that.
comb over.
What were we saying?
The embarrassing combing over.
Yeah, he does have a slight comb over going.
I mean, and he looks 50. He looks much older.
Now, how
than I'm
old would you
sure
think
he
this
is.
guy is?
He works on computers. I know that for sure.
Well, I'll be his friend. We won't date him. We'll be his friend.
These women really seem to know what they like, but what they don't know is that they've been looking at photos of the men we spoke to earlier. What they also don't know is that they're going to be meeting these men very shortly, and the men are going to find out what the women had to say about them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi.
Welcome back, ladies.
Nothing's more natural than hair infused directly to your scalp, and that's why Veralex looks exactly like hair growing from your scalp. After all, Veralex is 100% human hair. It's no different from the hair you have on your head right now, except that it doesn't grow and it will never fall out. Find out why so many men are choosing Veralex over hair replacement. Call now for this free brochure without obligation.
So why don't we start here and go right on down the line to the very end. Introduce yourself and tell us your name.
Sonia, hello.
I'm Bonnie, and I think you guys are great.
All right, enough of that.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Julie.
I'm Robin.
I'm Lucy.
Glenn.
I'm Dave.
I'm Mike. My name is Adam.
My name is Jeff.
Okay.
Well, you're probably wondering what this is all about, I'm sure.
We are.
Now, we spoke to the ladies a little while ago about men's hair, and more specifically, men's hair loss. And we also spoke to the guys about men's hair and men's hair loss as well, and get everybody's attitudes on things. Now, do you happen to know any of these guys here at all?
No.
Never seen them before.
Okay, and I just got to tell you, all these guys here today have something in common. Okay, any ideas what that might be?
I think they've had some kind of new hair growth. I mean, you look fabulous. You really do.
It's amazing. It's amazing how the most guilty. But guys, we're going to find out about that in a second. Let's let them in on a little secret. At one time, all these gentlemen were losing their hair. Isn't that correct, guys?
Unfortunately.
And why don't we, one of you, tell us exactly what you've had done and explain to the ladies what that is. Don't all jump at once, guys.
No, we can't can't be heard over each other.
Right.
Jeff, go ahead. Help me.
Basically, I was losing all my hair through the whole top of my head, and I've had it all replaced with a procedure called Veralex, where they've gone and taken natural human hair and implanted it into the top of the scalp, so that it gives the effect that it's growing straight from my head.
And it does look
Now,
that way.
it does. They take a big piece of your natural hair and
No, they actually take human hair,
Not yours.
not mine.
not yours. Okay.
Well, how did they match the color so perfectly? Because if it's not your own, it looks exactly like
It
your
really
own.
does.
Which was my next question. Basically, you never would have known.
Never, never. And I am so particular, so
You should have heard how mean she was about the pictures.
as you'll soon see.
Seriously, let's just get a cross-section here. How do you think they look?
Great. They look great.
Very natural.
Very natural.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's how,
Right.
And you know what? I think they all look younger, don't they?
Younger than what?
Younger than their pictures that we saw earlier.
Oh, well, see, you let the cat out of the bag. I thought you said you'd never seen them before.
Oh, I saw them in their pictures.
Oh, well, I dn't know that. Guys,
Never saw
why
them
don't
in
we
person.
See, you had to go and...
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't know who went with who.
We're going to
Oh,
really
my
get the
goodness.
before and afters here. Let's be proud.
And you are the most drastic improvement.
Yes.
I was actually frightened
That's
of
a
you.
compliment.
We said if we saw you.
I said, where's my
I'll take it
bra?
as a compliment.
You know?
I think you guys look so good now. You really, really
Now, do you think, like, if there was a man in your life that was in a situation where these guys were, do you think that Veralex 2.0 would be a great solution?
Now, how do you spell that?
It's something I would something I'd
You
recommend.
think so? I mean, seriously, look at their
Yeah.
before and afters.
It's
The
absolutely
most
believable.
natural transformation, the most
Really?
natural transformation I've ever seen.
It's amazing.
And you know, I really think that this is such an extraordinary product that you could work in television or any other industry that requires close-up analysis and inspection. I mean, it's very believable.
Well, speaking of television, and I'm glad you brought that up, because these ladies are really, really complimentary to your hair right now, but they weren't so complimentary earlier.
They're so sweet.
And we've got it all on tape, ladies.
Wow.
So,
We didn't know
guys,
you guys
you
were
want to see what they had to say, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, while
Oh,
they're here.
yeah. They're not really sure right now. The guys are a little stunned at this point.
But know that it's a tribute to how good you look now.
Right. She's trying to save herself right now.
You'll like
so
it.
why don't we take a look at what the ladies had to say?
Be brave.
How about this guy?
Oh, no.
Just
messy.
Hold on now. Hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? All right. Now, what's the reaction going to be?
Okay, we were talking about grooming. Okay, look at the hair. It's not even well groomed. If he would just at least take the time to comb it, gel it. And wait a minute. What is that underneath his chin? No. What is
He's got
that?
that soul patch thing going right here. And it's true, and he's unshaven. The man is scary.
How about this guy right here? Go ahead. Let's hear it. You got something good to say.
And with the chain around the neck to really offset the bald. Oh,
Cheesy.
no.
Look, I was talking about. They're just hairs that are
Kind of disheveled. And
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
And he's got the little
like it.
raised
Let's get a
eyebrow,
number.
like, I know I'm hot
Right.
and so
5.
I mean, all that space
you-
on the forehead, you can see the wrinkles just
I mean, he
shining
also
through.
even puts the little black powder on his head.
Oh, 5.
Yeah. He looks like that guy
Oh,
in
another
Laverne.
all
Yeah.
flies right here.
She did.
Well, ladies,
I feel awful.
what do you have to say?
I'm very sorry.
I mean,
But you look so good now. You should just be thankful.
in their defense, they had no idea that you were going to be here, and I was setting them up to get a big reaction out of it.
He was.
I mean, there has to be some sort of truth in some of that, how you feel. I mean, now you say these guys look great right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There's a huge improvement. You have to,
And
I mean, I'm sure they
again,
can see that.
I don't think anybody here is talking about anybody personally. It's they're purely off of their visual first
Absolutely.
impression, which is what we mentioned before. And now, guys, how do you feel? You, Glenn, said I don't think that women are that shallow to really think that...
I want to retape.
Now let's turn it around a different way. What if you saw any one of these guys on the street or in a bar and you had no idea that they had had hair replacement with Veralex 2.0? I mean, what would you think?
By the way, I'm 30.
That's why I knew that, and that's why I kept saying. So you
doesn't
think
have
this
a
guy
pocket
is
protector.
40, right? You think this guy is older.
Someone said 49, didn't they?
And you will definitely have something interesting for me to hear.
Oh, okay.
Right. Between 35 and 40.
Oh, thank you.
But I think altogether you look very well groomed, much better groomed than in the photographs we saw.
Yeah.
I mean, and very much more approachable, or not approachable, but we would let you approach us without being frightened or weary.
Not a big loser.
She said that. She said that.
Not a big sweaty monster.
Let him have it, fellas.
We deserve it. You're right.
The truth for me is that you all, it's not that you look better, you all look handsome. You know, there's one thing to just improve, but to now be in another whole category of being handsome is a huge improvement.
What is there was no
What is
pain.
it?
Is it glue? This is a
It's human hair
non-surgical
infused
procedure?
onto your head. So
Into your skin?
not into your skin, on top of your skin.
On top of your skin.
There's no evidence of that
Is
at
it
all.
Not at all.
And you can actually see their scalp. You know, it's not like they're wearing a toupee where it's, you know, or some of the other programs. If you had the opportunity to recommend the procedure that these guys had, wouldn't you?
Most definitely.
I would, definitely. Well, you know why I would recommend it? Because it looks incredibly natural.
Yeah, it
and
looks
most
real.
toupees or plugs or transplants look very strange.
Not only
Just
that,
strange.
but the hair
you know.
color. It's
beautiful.
unbelievable how
It's
they
beautiful.
match the hair color to their own natural hair. Looks very, very natural.
It does, and they kept your natural hairline anyway, so it doesn't
Right, or enhance it.
To look at the guys in the pictures where you wouldn't want them to approach you or come up to you in a nightclub or something like that, how would you feel if one of these guys approached you now?
Well, I'd go over and talk to Adam myself.
Looks like we have a whole new show.
Can we touch it?
There's so much love here. Why doesn't everybody get together and look it up real close? Gosh, yeah, go ahead. Take a look at it real close. Thanks a lot, guys. You were really, really great.
About this picture.
When someone can run their fingers through your hair and think it's growing, when someone who first sees you with more hair thinks your hair has grown back, you know you found the ideal hair loss alternative. And you have, now that you've seen this presentation on Veralex. If hair replacement is not for you, you should look into what Veralex can do. It's all right here in this brochure that's yours free and without obligation. In its pages, you'll see actual Veralex clients and learn how Veralex can work for you. So call now. Operators are standing by 24 hours a day, ready to send you your free Veralex brochure.
The natural hair is on the neck.